Did the Apostle Paul really say that in order to be with the Lord, you have to be out of the body in 2 Corinthians 5 and in Philippians 1:23? So let me tell you about some points regarding this. If you read the passages in context, it's clear that nobody means you're a nobody. That is, if you don't have a body, you don't have life. And that's clear in the context of 2 Corinthians 5. Furthermore, the biblical teaching about who we are as human beings is that body plus breath, the breath of life, equals a living soul or a person in Genesis 2:7. The Hebrew there is nephesh. And that at the resurrection we will have new spiritual bodies according to the resurrection chapter in 1 Corinthians 15. So if Paul is really saying that to be with the Lord means you have to be out of the body somehow, that is just going totally out of the original Jewish understanding of the human self or the individual. Furthermore, 2 Corinthians 5:8, death equals naked. So a fearful, unthinkable, and practically incomprehensible state to be found in. Again, if you go back and read it in the context of what Paul is saying, is that he doesn't want to be found naked. Now, remember, Paul is using here a lot of metaphors regarding death and the resurrection state. He does the same in 1 Corinthians 15 when he talks about, look at the celestial bodies, for example. And then he talks in agricultural terms about the resurrection and so on. So in context, 2 Corinthians 5 is a fearful thing for Paul to be found, as it were, naked. In the book Resurrection and Immortality by West, passages with the word spirit, psyche, used referring to parts of the human body that in some way connect the spirit, the pneuma, to the human mind. So this book says that in Colossians 2:5, Paul says, for though absent in body, I am present in spirit, pneuma. Same word. So the author asks, was his immortal spirit, Paul's spirit, in one place and his body in another while he was alive? If so, then the immortal spirit can leave the body when it wants to, and the body can live without it. But James, in James 2:26, tells us that the body without the spirit is dead. Was Paul's body dead for a time while his spirit was gone to be at Colossae? No. He was saying he was with them in his thoughts and heart, not that an immortal spirit had left his body, went to the brethren there, and returned. Furthermore, Bullinger, in his companion Bible, on 2 Corinthians 5:8, got it right. Now, Bullinger got many things wrong, I believe, as in regards to dispensationalism. But I think he hits it on the nail here. He says, it is little less than a crime for anyone to pick out certain words and frame them into a sentence, not only disregarding the scope and context, but ignoring the other words in the verse and quote the words absent from the body, present with the Lord, with the view of dispensing with the hope of the resurrection, which is the subject of the whole passage, as though it were unnecessary, and as though present with the Lord is obtainable without it, that is, without your body. Summary, the teaching of some makes Paul be wrong when he said, we are longing to be clothed upon with our habitation, which is from heaven. For their teaching says, we had it at birth and will always have it, even if we go to hell, or that is the grave.